Hello, welcome to Inspiration Station, where we have today Jim Scully. He's not only a representative for GWC Warranty, but he's also a friend of mine and great supporter. He's always supporting all my ideas, and here he is here today to support this channel as well.
Glad to be here.
Welcome.
Yep. Thank you for having me.
And I'm glad that you came here because I'm gonna post this video on my website.
Awesome.
Because this is a very complicated field where when I'm trying to present warranties to my customers, and
Yep.
people have a lot of doubts and confusion about how this works. And that's why I wanted to talk to you so we can clear these things up so people have a better understanding
Yep.
of how it works and how it can help them and how it helps me and how all around it's a great product and service for a used car when people buy a used car. But I just want to clarify some things. So people ask me all the time these questions, so I'm going to ask you and then you can fill in.
Yeah, it's perfect. Just, in the business of doing vehicle service contracts or vehicle warranties, there are a lot of misconceptions.
Yeah.
People have ideas. And then just like you, I'm glad to be on board in your orbit working with your dealership because you know how to keep customers happy and you know how to do business the right way, and it all starts with keeping the customer happy. However, there are people that have preconceptions, misconceptions about
Yes.
car dealers, and so you
Both.
have the same battles as I have. I worked at Chase for a lot of years, and we used to say it. When someone was back when the whale, had financial, brought the company into financial problems, and I'd say, one person poops a bed and we all need to wear diapers, and that's basically what we wind up
Yeah.
with. You have people that don't treat someone right and they paint you with the same brush.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to talk about this, maybe change some people's perception, maybe give some information about how it actually works. And you're my best advertising is you've dealt with me since 2016.
I thought it was earlier than that, I think.
2015 might have been. You might have. Yep.
I had some warranties before I met you. I tried working with a few warranty companies, and I would write the deals, and they wouldn't pay, and I didn't really understand why, and it was very difficult. I also had some bad experiences with warranty companies.
Yep.
So it's very understandable for people to feel that way because I felt the same way when I met you.
Right.
And I was apprehensive to even offer the product, but at first, but then you kept coming by, and I love joking around with you. You remind me of Austin Powers,
Oh, behave.
and I also, and then at times I even forget your name. I call you Mike, and it's like, wait, it's not Mike, it's Jim.
You keep doing business with me, and you can call me Sally.
It's only I've only known you for 9 years, and I still call you Mike.
Mike Myers.
Mike Myers.
I'm okay. I wear it. I own it.
And you have a good sense.
Wear it honestly.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I guess the first thing, like my question is like, why do you pay the claims when we ask? Like, because some warranty companies, I would like, hey, I have a problem here and this, and because we also have a service department, and I want to do the work and get paid.
Yep.
And some of the companies don't pay, and it's like, oh, I'm not paying this. They find loopholes and this and that, and make it incredibly difficult for me to get paid or do the service work. And then why am I going to sell these warranties? So with you,
Yep.
I sell the product, and then when the car comes back for a repair, I know I'm going to get paid. I have 100% faith in your company and working with you. And so what sets you apart, like from a company that does pay and a company that doesn't pay? What's the difference?
It's funny that you're doing these, informational interviews, because really communication is a big part of it. That's where customers go wrong and people go wrong. You're not going to be happy when you weren't given the correct information. So communication is key, and then partnership is key also. I have through the years developed what I call Happy VSC Customer University, Vehicle Service Contract University, and I've got 3 different levels: the 30,000-foot level, what you and I should do as partners to make a good working relationship that keeps your customers happy. And at 3 different levels: top level, mid level, and then ground level. And the top level is probably is definitely the most important thing we can do. First of all, it's knowing what we're offering. So I've got a couple of different types of service contracts. I've got stated component coverage service contracts, and I call it the 3 magic words, because customer understanding what is covered, it's in a stated component coverage program. It's the same 3 words. So ask me, what's covered in a stated component covered?
What's stated? What's written, that's what's covered.
That's what's covered. The components stated are covered. So those 3 those 3 terms: stated component coverage. If you in the minimum just reiterate it back to the customer that way, then they understand what they're getting. They're less likely to be
Upset.
unhappy down the line. And so communication and being able to explain that to the customer, it's actually my second level, but
So what, again, the first level is what?
the first level is our team, okay? So you and I
How we're-
having an honest discussion about what we're doing going forward and how we're going to do it. And this is how we're going to do it.
So that our relationship
I have to
together.
ask you, I've got the first thing I need to do to start off, which I asked you when I first started off, is can you make sure the components that we're covering in this contract are in good mechanical condition when the vehicle leaves?
Yes.
So that's the first part. I have a requirement of my dealers, and you do it. You fortunately have a shop. You're able to go through, do a thorough reconditioning, and make sure the car's in good shape. However, we also know that none of these cars you sell, when they were new, none of them get to leave the showroom without a warranty. So every single manufacturer puts a warranty on their brand new car. Bad car?
Still gets a warranty.
No. And why? Because it's a machine, and even good machines have bad days. And if you're wondering whether that's true, go to any franchise dealer and see the biggest building.
I always
in
say
the place.
there's 3 certainties when
Yep.
people come in. Well, I don't want my car to break. I don't want it to be broken. Can you
Yep.
sell me a car that's not going to break? Can you guarantee me the car is not going to break? I go, there's 3 certainties: death, taxes, and broken cars. I guarantee this car is going to be broken. There's no way I'm going to guarantee it's not going to break.
Right.
So you need to get this warranty. It's so important that you get a warranty. I want you to get a warranty. When you get a new car, you get a warranty.
Exactly.
Don't you think it's more important to get a warranty when you get a used car?
It's got some
It's-
miles on it. Yeah. Why
It's
did?
like
Yeah.
you have to get the warranty. This is like a
Came with a
no-brainer.
new car. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you do it here?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you drive by the new. I drive a Honda, but every Honda dealership, the biggest building in the place, is parts and service. And if you go back to the service drive, it's not cash for
not-
clunkers.
no.
It's not a.
Well, I don't know about Toyota and Honda. They're probably a little smaller. If I went, no offense to anyone, but I went the other day to a Dodge dealership, and they didn't have any people buying cars, but their service department was crazy. There was I had to wait. I had
every
to wait
manufacturer.
Really?
Every manufacturer.
30
It's
minutes.
It's a machine, and that's the moral that you and I, we're trying to explain to people, that even a good machine has a bad day. Your refrigerator,
never know.
your air conditioner at your house, anything mechanical, a pump. So this is a machine that you're purchasing. Even a good machine's gonna have a bad day. And
So back to your statement. So
Yeah.
the second most important thing is that when I sell the warranty, you're saying is I really go over what the warranty will cover, so the person really understands what they're getting. That way, they're going to be happy with the product and the service.
Well, the second thing, that's down the line. Actually, the second thing that I asked for is knowing that, hey, it's a machine. We have a machine. There's nothing we sell that has new car miles. Every new car leads with warranty for a reason. So the second thing that we have to do to make sure this works well for us, our business relationship, and keeps the customers happy is we have to make sure that I call it the bucket. I have to make sure that there's enough good days going into the bucket every month to be able to have the money in there for when the vehicle has a bad day. So that's the second thing you and I have to figure out and agree to, is how to get that business in there every month for that. That's just how it works. Your contract, when you buy a contract, it isn't enough to pay an engine generally, it isn't enough to make a huge repair, but you have all those little contracts that you put together that can pay for a big repair.
And I've learned to understand that it's like a bucket or a pool. The thing
pool.
that you call
Yep.
a bucket is
Yep.
really a pool.
Correct.
And it's a pool of business. And because So if I wrote one policy or you sold a policy and it was only $1,000, and then that person came back with a broken engine and the engine was $5,000, and that's the only policy that I ever sold,
Yep.
that's going to put you under by $4,000 as a business,
Right.
and that's going to reflect negatively on me.
Yep.
So my goal with you, and is to give you to produce so much business that you're profitable and that I'm profitable.
There's enough in the pool to handle handle
And I
the
understand
repairs.
that. I
Yeah,
understand that.
and then we call it, and that's what we call that your claims ratio. So, that's why I come by every month and I bring you, these claims, just so we know what's been paying out, and then we have to have that discussion.
So I stay
Hey,
positive.
100% is the number where if we put $1 in the pool, we spend $1. If
And-
it's 80 cents, we put 80 cents in the pool. If we put $1 in the pool, we spend 80 cents. That's great. If we put $1 in the pool and we spend $2, then something went wrong, and we have.
So
to
then
address
if that's the case, then you come and visit me. Hey, we have a problem.
Yeah, right.
We're spending more than you're bringing in. We have to. There's
Yep.
going to be an issue there.
Right.
But luckily, fortunately, we've been in business, or I've been working with you and your company now for 9 years, and it's been only up and up, and I've only gotten better and better, and I've never even gotten a visit from you about that, which is I'm very happy because cars break, and
They do.
and we definitely have claims, and I'm very happy that I've never had that
Yeah.
negative call that I'm in trouble or anything. Everything is.
No,
is
it's
good.
great, and that's and those are those first couple of commitments, making sure the vehicle's in good condition when it leaves, making sure there's enough good days, and then the third thing is making sure you present the customers, and let them know they have the opportunity, just like you do. You've got a great opportunity to purchase a service contract. You can work with GWC, who has been in this business since 1995. We've paid over $3.5 billion worth of claims. We've got 87 million customers that we've paid. So you have the confidence in us as a company, and then through our relationship to be able to help make that customer more comfortable.
Well, also know that the fact that me and you have had this relationship for 9 or 10 years, 9, 10 years, that makes me feel comfortable
Yeah.
as well to work with your company because I know that you have my back always, that if I have any issue, you'll
Well,
always help me.
We're both
or the
we're both
customer.
out for the same. We're both out, and that's what I have, over the years leaned towards, and what I work towards is we're both at the same goal, and our goal is to have happy customers who like what they purchased and will tell their friends and come back, and then come back themselves. And everything I do kind of starts at that foundation. Can we keep the customer happy? And then with claims, listen, nothing's perfect. You've seen it. You and I have been through it together. I can't promise you perfection. I promise you my phone is on. But at the end of the day, if we're doing business right, and we keep that goal of keeping the customer happy, we generally can fall into that range and do that. And that's what makes a difference.
I have a little bit of an off-topic
Yep.
question. I also worked at Chase before I started the dealership.
Oh, really?
And also, and you did as well. You
Yeah.
mentioned. I never
Yep.
realized that.
Yep.
What brought you to GWC? Because there's a lot of warranty companies out there. You could have chosen any number of them, and you could have continued being in banking. I was always just wondering how did you end up going from that to this, and why GWC?
It's funny. I've got a horrible memory, but there's some things that stick in your memory and you remember. So, I had a dealership who was trying to tell me how the cow eats the cabbage and wasn't agreeing with what I was saying. And they said to me, "Did you ever sell a car before?" So that's their argument, So, and it woke me up and it kind of scared me. I went back out to my car, I drove away, and I remembered where I was on Thanksgiving Day of 1987. So on Thanksgiving Day of 1987, I was standing on the parking lot of Jim Moran Pontiac selling cars, and I had moved down from
Jim Moran?
I had moved down from New York a year ago, and he had a Pontiac dealership in Hollywood. So
Oh,
yep,
you
yep.
worked for
so
Jim
I worked,
Moran?
Yeah, I sold cars for Jim Moran Pontiac.
Did you
So
meet the guy? Or?
I upped him once.
What?
He came, you knew him, you never met him. So he came in, he just had a little sweater, was driving a Toyota Corolla, drove up next to the used car department. I went to introduce myself. The general manager came running out. No,
Don't talk to him. He doesn't need a Toyota.
Don't talk to that guy.
Really?
But I was proud of it. I never say never.
What did
Up
he say to
everyone.
you? What did he
So
say to
just
you?
smiled and said hello.
So
Yep.
yeah. Oh wow.
But so I was standing there saying to myself, "You need to get a job with better hours." So I eventually went to banking, and went to banking for better hours. But after 20 years, I found myself in a position. The reason I'm at GWC, I went from floor plan to underwriting to repping, and I was back in underwriting with Chase. And I found myself being top one or two. A great guy named David Summerall was in the office with me at Chase, and he was always number one. Sometimes I pass him.
What did you do? Underwriting for homes?
Yeah, no, for cars, for
Oh,
autos.
oh,
so I was in the car business. I never really
Through
left.
Chase.
Never really left the car business. Yeah, with
Okay.
Chase Custom. So, but what would happen was, my reward for doing a better job was generally just getting a bigger goal, and not getting much more, much more money. And I was sitting next to someone who was doing a half or a quarter of my business, and hey, congratulations, you get a bigger goal, same money. Hey, they get a little goal. So I finally, and then my boss left Chase for GWC. They made him an offer he couldn't refuse.
Okay.
So I had talked to him, told me what he was doing. He told me they were, being paid for performance. So if you do more, you'll make more. So I had to bite the bullet. I left a cushy 40-hour week with all the benefits job, working from home. But I'm not a Chase, I think, for the same reason you're not a Chase.
You mentioned the same reason. It's the commissions.
Right.
No incentive.
You're not yeah, there's some, and that's okay. I mean, hourly is fine, and that's that, but
But if you're
there's-
driven and
Right.
you're highly driven, you need that
yeah,
range. If you're not highly driven, then that's fine.
right. And so that's that's why I got here, and I got to GWC, and they gave me a little territory, and I grew it, and they gave me a bigger territory, and I grew it, and I've been covered a couple of different areas.
Yeah, and you were working at Chase. You're sitting at a desk or at your home 40 hours a week. So now what do you do? Do you sit in office, or what do you do? So
No, my car is my office. I've killed 3 cars already. I had a Buick that I put 300,000 miles on.
So you're out
a Toyota
driving
I did
around
250,000 miles.
all over the state of Florida,
Yep.
working how many hours a week now?
I don't count hours.
So you left a 40-hour job to be working nonstop all the time,
Yep.
driving around, going to dealerships, talking to. Sounds you had an easy job and you decided to go for one meet.
And I love what I'm doing.
What's
I love
inside
it.
of you
I love it.
pushes you to do this?
I
It's
don't
like
know. What's inside of you to take
Driven.
the pain of everyone sees, oh, you own a dealership, oh, life must be good, sitting with
Yeah.
your feet up. But I probably couldn't
we thrive on stress.
It took me 9 months to just be introduced, just to get your attention, because you were always busy, always had something going on.
Yeah,
And
I
for
don't
me,
know,
I
pay
knew
attention,
some people thought some people see that as in sales. Some people see that as a blow off or a dust off. But when I see an entrepreneur, a business person like you, and I can't get a hold of you because you're busy and the improvements you made to the facility, and
You've
you're
seen
always
it.
growing. So I see you, me not being able to get a hold of you, as a good thing. You're the person. I want to invest the time. I want to earn your business. I want to get your attention because you're growing, you're moving, and it's the same thing for me. I enjoy a challenge. For me, it's the old American dream, right? The American dream is you came and you got an opportunity, and that's it. And I think that's what built this country. And I've got that fire to just always do a little better and always do a little more. And my mom, was a stay-at-home mother and raised me. My dad was an auto mechanic and truck driver, and I can make money like a doctor by working hard, and it's just opportunity. I went back. I graduated college late in my life, in my 40s. I graduated summa cum laude, but I came out here to do this, just for the opportunity, and that's why I love the car business. And it's there, and if you're not scared to work, so.
I also think that what pushes me, probably the same for you, is that when I worked at Chase, it was very predictable. It was always, I come to work, it's the same thing every day, always the same. I can count on it.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's like a factory, and
It
you're
was-
like bored out of your car.
I'm bored.
My cousin in Massachusetts went
I'm
to work for a
wasting my
factory
li-
where you pushed a button. He was
I
building
just
this.
couldn't
He's
deal
like,
with it.
he was making great money. He's like, I can't do it. I can't go in every day and push this button.
I even have a boat. I even got a boat, and even boating, like I go
Wasn't
boating.
enough of a distraction on the
No,
weekend to make up
it's
for how
like,
boring
no,
your week
but
was.
even
Yeah.
boating gets boring. I was just thinking everything gets boring after a while. But one thing doesn't get boring: business. Being
Yep.
an entrepreneur
Yep.
is never boring. I never know what to expect. I never know what's going to happen next. What kind of trouble? What kind of economy issue? Taxes and this and that.
It's like a puzzle. It's always a Rubik's cube, a
Always
puzzle, a
moving.
challenge. Something's going
So
on.
I
Dull.
I like being
And then you
challenged.
get goofballs like me showing up, and
Laughing.
come on, I'll be
Yeah.
brave.
No, but that's what makes it fun because all kinds of interesting people stop in all the time, and I really enjoy meeting all the people that come into my world and all the problems and issues that I have to go through and learn and improve to keep getting better all the time and never the same. And the main thing is never have blinders on and always be like a child, knowing that I don't know everything.
Well, you got
And-
to keep growing. Mark Lipa was one of my managers at Barnett when I worked there, and and he said, people are like plants, right? What happens when a plant stops growing? Turns brown,
dies.
blows away. So we just have to keep growing, and it's for business. It's grow or die. It hurts, You'd like to be able to keep on doing what I did yesterday, but it's not there, and things change. There are no more typewriters, So
Oh yeah, everything's
yeah.
now on the phone.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
things are going to change.
Social
So
media, there was no social
keep
media
up.
before, and you just
Yep.
gotta keep going. That's what I love about the business. That adventure, nonstop, never know what to expect.
and you're on the cutting edge.
Yeah. And I want to say thank you for helping my business be better and the products and services that you offer with your company. And
Well, it's really what I like about it too. It's a team effort. So I'm not just sticking a brochure in there and giving you a product. I can be better if I help your process, if I help your referral process, if I can help you sell more, if I can help your people with their skills about talking to people and interacting with customers, or how what other opportunities you have to interact with customers. So for me, that's fantastic. That if I can grow and what I do to grow, share with other salespeople, and help you, that's what is probably the most fun part of the job, and what I really enjoy is it's just being able to work together to make ourselves more successful.
and then from my observation from you is that you always show up. You always show up. It's like a month comes by or whatever. You've been showing up for 10 years.
It's embarrassing. What isn't it embarrassing? It's almost. I've had some people at HR at my company say, "Oh, you're always one of our top producers. What do you do to be successful?" And I finally got to the point where I can't tell you.
I can't tell you the secret.
Yeah, no, but I unfortunately or fortunately, that's a big part of it, is being present, showing up, being there, answering your phone, talking to people. I like to talk.
It's a form of service.
Talking to
You're, like,
people.
always
Yeah,
there
and
to
then
help
and then for my company, like I said, and a big part of it, things don't always go perfect. I've had to move territories sometimes, and sometimes when I move out of a territory, there are some people that aren't happy when I leave, but I'm able to keep in contact with them. And one thing I've noticed is, it isn't me, it isn't that I'm special, but when something goes wrong or something doesn't go perfect, if they can call me up and I can walk them through it, that's what makes a big difference. So answering the phone, being present. Ray Bowen sells Fords down in West Palm, and that's a great thing about successful people. You ask them, "Hey, what makes you successful?" And they'll usually tell you. So he was a salesperson, 40 cars a month. And I said to him, I was a manager of a finance branch, and I said, "I'm in sales. You're in sales. What makes you successful?" He pulls me into his office. And he said, "There." He had a log of people he talked to. He said, "There." And he had a little number in there. It said 18,972. I said, what is that? He goes, this is today's log, this is last month's, this is last year's. He said, that's the number of people I've talked to in the 16 years I've worked here.
Wow.
So you're right, being present and talking to people, but you want people to say, I split the atom. I'm a nuclear physicist. I'm Einstein. I'm successful because I'm Einstein. But really, if you boil it down, I'm successful because I'm there. I show up. I answer the phone.
It's funny that you mentioned Einstein. I'm actually reading a book about Einstein or about his success, and that's what he did. He started because of showing up and learning. He wanted to learn. He always wanted to learn. And that's the same.
Clerk to physicist.
He was a clerk.
Yep.
The reason why he took the clerk job is so he can learn and see all the patents coming in and see how patents work.
Yeah.
And that was his goal, to learn the patents, and then he went step by step. It's just a form of showing up.
Yeah, it is.
So in the next, we have only a few minutes left, and I just want to ask you, what is, like, for people, because you're here to talk about warranties, what is what would be your main statement about your company? And if you were telling somebody to purchase your warranty, what are the most important things you want to tell or say?
I think that working with, obviously working with a dealer you can trust, and the right dealer is part of it, because of the fact that what I know is what makes you happy is understanding what you're buying, and then having the confidence that, for us, say someone buys an essential contract, it's a stated component coverage, it covers the items on the essential, and knowing that you've had it explained properly to you what's being covered, number one, and then knowing the dealer's taking care of their part, you're maintaining your car properly. So then our promise is, when something on that contract fails, the customer knowing that they can rely on us. They know that we are going to take care of that. We're going to take care of that part and the labor for that part, and they can be confident in that.
Sounds good.
Yep.
Sounds good. Looking forward to selling more of GWC, and looking forward to seeing you for 20 more years.
Perfect. Yep. Lots of happy Victory Auto Group customers.
And you come by, buy us lots of lunches, and have more wonderful
Showing up, and food.
Yes, food. We like food. Feed us.
I'm practically Einstein.
That's it.
Mike Myers and Einstein.
You got comedy and food. It doesn't get any better.
Doesn't get any better than that.
Thank you.
Thank you.